Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of 8+1 The Classroom. My name is Charles Nzali. My guest today is an award-winning podcaster, an entrepreneur, an artist, a writer, and many more. My guest today is Kim Newsome. Kim Newsome is behind the brand Kimology.
Yes.
I know someone somewhere have heard this name before.
Oh gosh.
Kim, welcome to 8+1 The Classroom.
Thanks, Charles. I'm glad to be here. I'm really excited. I love when people ask me to be a part of their show. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. So
Yeah. You've been doing something for a while now, Kim. Don't act like we don't know you. We know you, okay?
Okay.
We might not, we don't have access, but we know you.
Okay. I like that. I don't want everybody to have access, but yeah. Thanks for having me.
That's why you give the base so they can be scared a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Hey.
Don't cross me, okay? All right. Okay.
Kim, thank you for coming to share the space with me.
Yeah.
And thank you for, it's a nice evening outside. You could have been somewhere doing
Very nice.
doing anything.
It's not ashy cold.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. You could be somewhere, but you're here.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna jump right into it with you, right?
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about your upbringing, little Kim. Not the,
Okay.
Were you always this bubbly as a kid?
Oh God. I'm sure I was. You know what? I was very shy around other people, but with my family and friends, I was a character. But yeah, I was shy around a lot of people, but like I said, yeah, around my family and friends, I was a clown. Very much so. But I mean basically most people don't know this, but I was adopted when I was about a month old. My family, pretty much middle upper class. My mom was a biochemist. My dad worked for the Kansas City School District. He was the president for like 4 years when I was in grade school. So they were definitely big on education and all that. Did well in school. I don't know. I was, like I said, I was a character. I loved to be involved with like school programs and anything dealing with music and dance. Like I was, again, like if it was like a production or a group, it's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But I was shy at the same time. It's weird. I was a different kid, but yeah, what else do you want to know?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
Why music?
Oh goodness. So when I was a kid, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 87, and so I grew up listening to Anita Baker,
You
Patti
do not
LaBelle.
look like you were born in 87.
Excuse me?
You
Yes.
do not look like you were born in 87.
Yeah, I
You
just
look like
turned
a 20-year-old.
Well, okay, that moisturizer and just some prayer and yeah, just minding your own business, just doesn't age you. But
Don't stress over nothing that don't bother you, huh?
I'm trying not to stress. It's hard, but yeah, I grew up listening to classical, like timeless music. And so I just always liked to sing. My parents weren't singers, but they always listened to really good music all the time. And so I just remember like harmonizing with stuff. I don't even know how I could harmonize at such an early age, but I just loved music. I loved watching music videos back in the day where there was like, well, what's that show? Video Soul and like, all these like countdown shows and stuff where it was like really popular. There was no YouTube or anything. You had to like sit in front of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I just always loved music. I love musicals. I just loved arts and entertainment. Always.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit, right?
Okay.
you said you were adopted, right?
Yes.
Does that make you feel any lack of, if that's the right word to choose, does to I don't know if I have the right words to what I'm trying to explain, right?
I think I
Does
know.
making you adopt does you sorry does you being adopted
Yeah.
make you any different?
Um, I think I know what you're asking. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just say what I think you're trying to say. um, being adopted, it's like when I found out that I was adopted, I was like maybe 10. And it was because me and my family were looking through photo albums. That's when people had photo albums back in the day. And I noticed that my mom was pregnant. And I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm in your belly. And she's like, yeah, you're not in there. And she and my father explained, what it meant to be adopted and things like that. And I was pretty satisfied after that. I wasn't really like, didn't think I was different per se, but I would say when my mother passed away when I was 12, there was something that kind of went off in me like, okay, life feels a little different. And, years would go by and I started noticing a lot more that, yeah, I blended with my family, but it's like, where do I come from?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gotten, I don't want to say it's gotten worse, but it's progressed all the way into my adulthood. You just kind of have like this identity crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was adopted, I was like a month old. I was very young. So I was born into a family per se, but I still feel like there's like a hole, like there's something missing from me. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to
I
like
get it.
everyone like if you I don't you're not adopted, right?
No.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know if there's a difference
Mm-hmm.
from just being born into your family and you look like your dad, you look like your mom, you like your siblings or something. Like there's something that connects you. I don't know if there's a difference between someone not being adopted because I had a normal childhood. Like it wasn't anything different from anyone else's, but I don't know. I just still feel like there's this separation. There's this missing piece of my life.
Yeah, the reason I asked that question is, right, so my parents raised my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
so they pretty much adopted my cousin, right?
Yeah.
So growing up, he had that quest for to search for where I am from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I I know it is my parents did great things for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that void was just there.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point he had to go meet his parents, and their family. They like he's our cousin,
Yeah.
but they lived in another country in Africa. And I remember
Mm.
when I went when I in Africa we have what they call a car park. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you go there to catch a bus to take you to wherever you're going to.
Right. Right.
When we get there, before he get in the van,
Mm-hmm.
he just started crying, like really, really, like crying really bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was still standing there crying with him,
Oh wow.
and I remember that memory is always with me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I kind of get that void, trying to search for that void and say, hey, where am I from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I, but they were very good parents to you,
Yeah.
and they did a great job. Look how you turn out.
Oh,
Fly,
I turned
fly.
out okay, right? A
One
little
of the,
bit.
if we have a smiling competition in Kansas City, you stand a huge chance.
Well, I do what I can,
You stand
you
a huge
know.
chance. You know, just a sweet human being. You know,
Thank you.
and that's beautiful. And so now let's get back to
Okay.
music, right?
Yes.
So the music videos, the Anita Bakers,
Mm-hmm.
the people who can actually sing.
Okay.
This is
Because
This is pre auto tune. This is pre all this.
You had to sing. You had to be flat footed and sing on the stage. Yes.
So that is where you drew your source of motivation from, source of like inspiration from that.
Yeah. It's like I've always loved to like, so music was kind of like the conduit to like actually being in front of people. Um I was shy, so I was singing with my cousins. Like, we'd be in each other's room playing Barbies, and we would try to like sing a commercial or something. But I don't know. It's weird because when I was a kid, I remember like if we had like a school program, I would practice the song, and I would picture people in the audience, but it was like this bigger audience, and I don't know. It was like a vision that just kind of stuck with me. So I don't know, like music was, I don't know, it just kind of led into me actually like going into, what do I want to say, having a talk show, further down in my life. Because even from music as a kid, like I remember, oh God, you remember the Talk Boy on Home Alone? Like
Yeah.
okay, I had one of those. And I pretended to be the Jackson 5. And I would like sing on there, and then I would interview them. So I'm the interviewer and I'm Michael Jackson. And and um just like even with like our family video recorder, like I would interview my family. I would pretend like I was Oprah and my aunt would be Miss America or somebody. So I'm like on camera interviewing these people. I'm only like 8 years old.
So you're Janet's little sister.
Yes, I am. So I think I answered your question. I don't know if I really did,
Yeah,
but
you did.
music, yeah, it's always been very important to me just throughout my life. I don't want to skip ahead, but just know, like when I was a kid, I just loved music. I was in programs. I was in choirs and things like that in high school. Did some solos and things. So I like music, but I feel like having that courage to get in front of people, it has trained me to actually like have a show or like prepare it for, do you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
I hope I'm making sense.
Now you're making sense. You're making
Okay.
sense. So usually in life, right? Life is very progressive.
Yes.
That's just what life is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all born, and then you're 1 year, a year old, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So usually at the higher spectrum of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life tends to have a progress. So whatever you're doing now tends to prepare you for what's next.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's very dangerous to be at a stage where you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's not molding you for what's ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the music and the being in front of people, singing in front of an audience, right, molded you to what we all know and grow to love as Kimology, which is the soul.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And that's what I got from it. And that's what everybody else is going to get from it.
Okay.
And that's a perfect segue into Kimology, right?
Yes.
You own a show. I wouldn't call it a podcast because I think it's kind of not. I'm a podcaster, and people will tell me that my platform is not a show; it's bigger than a podcast. But I still stick to the podcast guns because that's what I represent, right?
Yeah.
We from a podcast, we do what we call a run and go shooting, right? A podcast is just something. It's something that you can put together on the fly,
yeah,
and keep it moving, right? You have a show, an award-winning show, right? How did that start it? Because we already know the music inspired it, but what's the kickstart?
Oh God. I think where I was trying to go with the music and everything, I felt like even from, if I can rewind just a little bit.
Mhm.
So just out throughout my 20s, I was singing background vocals for people. I was a part of a group called My Brothers and Sisters. I sung backgrounds for Lee Langston. He's a really amazing singer that's from here. It was called Langston and Prototype. And then I was in a band called The Fantastics, which I'm actually still in. It's kind of like Flowetry, but with a woman and a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just always done something with music, and I was always singing. If I wasn't in front, I was in the back. I was over the music ministry at my church. So I'm leading worship there and everything. But I just felt like God wanted me to use my voice for something else. It wasn't just to sing. And so I don't know. I just had this itch of, I really want to have a show that is helping people. Like, we're talking about something, I'm talking about something that can really help people along their journey of life. Not saying that I'm just full of wisdom, but at the same time, I feel like whatever situations we go through, it's not just for ourselves, it's for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my friend Zach, we started a podcast called Sicker Than Your Average. It's from the Biggie song. I think it's Hypnotize.
Yeah.
It's my jam. And it was just basically a show where it's like a female and a male perspective on different topics and things. And it was actually doing pretty good. And this was at the time, I want to say it was like 2016, 17. Nobody was really podcasting. If you were, nobody knew what it was. Like, I would share it with people and they're like, well, how do I watch it? I'm like, it's just audio. You don't watch it. But then we parted ways because he was about to move to Atlanta and all this. And so I said, okay, let me just try it by myself. And so I produced it and did all this stuff and was talking about hot topics and things like that. And it got to the point where people were like, we want to see your face because you are so animated. And I said, okay, if I make it a visual show, if I step away from podcasting, what can I do? What am I supposed to talk about? And I was like, well, I feel like there's not enough platforms for Black artists here. And I know that from just being in bands and knowing friends who are artists as well. So I was like, well, let me just interview artists and have them perform and just get to know them outside of their music and promoting their music as well. So that's where Kimology started. It was 2020 in the summertime. So yeah, here I am.
So you have a very beautiful show, right?
Thank you.
And I first knew of Kimology from the Kansas City People's Choice Awards,
Oh
right?
my God.
So last year, friends of mine, Teddy, told me about the show the year before. That's when I just started podcasting, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't think I'm ready for any of that stuff, right? So last year we submitted votes and stuff like that, and we didn't even make the first round.
It's okay.
Very okay.
Yeah.
Super okay.
I didn't make it the first round in 2020. So
super okay.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very okay in the sense where it just reminded me that you still got work to do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was actually paying a lot of attention on, I'm not interested in anything else. I just want to know, who are these people?
Yeah.
So the first list came out. And I went through that. I screenshotted the thing. Podcast.
Yeah.
So I went through everybody's. If you make that list,
Yeah.
I was on your podcast checking.
Okay.
Some, I'm like, God damn, hell no, ain't no way.
Well,
Some of them I was like, ain't no way. And some of them I was like, I see why.
Yeah.
But so I was watching, and the first episode I run up on you is you and Effie.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I love this. I love this energy. Right?
Thank you.
So I just started binge watching here and there. I would just check on it here and there.
Yay.
I'll just check on it. I'll see people on there like, wow, okay, this is beautiful, this is dope. I'll look at some of the episodes. I'm like, this dope. And then recently I run into an episode and you could barely talk. And you ain't there.
All right, you don't have to bring that up, okay?
And then I was like, this is the definition of I am not stopping.
No, you can't stop. When you have people scheduled and yeah, I had to keep going.
I was like, what the hell am I doing?
What?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
I was like, this is the definition of I am not stopping.
Yeah, we're not canceling that.
We're talking about talking and my voice is out, which is what we used to talk.
Yeah.
And you have like, I think 3 episodes that day.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
And I was like, what? And I sit in this house and kick my feet up talking about
Charles.
people don't want to come to my thing. You got to create the environment. And man,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to
nah, you don't. I don't think you are laughing at it, right?
Yes.
But that's showed character. That is resilience.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, that is. We are not about to do this.
I was just so skeptical about even. First of all, I was so mad internally. I'm like, because I had my housewarming the day before. And, I told you I'm loud, and you've seen clips on Facebook probably of me just acting a fool. So I was with my friends and family. We were singing, doing karaoke, and then the next day, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I couldn't cancel because getting artists together in one day, and not to mention like the musicians and the videographer, like I could not cancel.
Now you're preaching to the choir when it comes to getting people together. I know that. And you see, I'm not a cool Kansas City kid, okay?
Not yet, though.
I'm the African guy with an accent.
Right.
With an accent.
You stick out.
Who is interviewing Johnny from this block.
Cut it out. You had Tahira, who's amazing. She's an amazing artist. It was a good episode.
Yeah,
it
I got
really
Joe
yeah.
on the show. I have people. I have some big guns on my platform.
Yeah.
But it's Joe, Tahira, Teddy. That's Kansas City.
Yeah.
Lene, all those people are Kansas City. But I'm not. No, it's not the same. Kim, listen.
No.
Don't sit here and try to be humble and act like we don't really understand what we know. This is Kim. This is big. This one is also one of them ones. You know what I mean? And I have a few one recently where I'm like, okay, now I can flex. Now I need to start flexing the muscles a little bit. But however, we're talking about Kimology here, right? Mm-hmm. It's not about 8+1. It's about you. This is your flowers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Your show won an award. How does that feel?
Okay, so during the pandemic, the beginning of it, January 25th, 2020, I debuted my first stage play. I've never wrote a stage play in my whole life. And it was dope. It was called Love Is Not a Feeling, It's a Choice. That is a long title. And I really want to change it because I don't even like it. But it was an all-black cast. Some artists here that are from Kansas City, they were in the play as well. They were performing. It was dope. Joe Black was the host of it as well. It was a great experience. It was something I've never ever done in my life, and it was a great accomplishment. And then people were like, well, we want to see it again. Will you redo it? I'm like, no, because everybody did this for free. So yeah, you can't just keep tugging on people and ask them to keep doing something for free.
Yeah, you can.
What?
That's why they're your friends. What do you think this friendship is for? Or just to call me on the phone and butter? No. I need you to pull up.
Charles.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't want to utilize my friends like that. Even though, of course, everybody is showing off their talent, I was still like, no, I don't want to do that. But I ended up writing a short film called Good Intentions, all black cast again. And some of the characters were characters that I actually used in my stage play. And it was silent. Did I say that? Yeah, it's a silent film. And it was dope. I just kind of wanted to step into film.
Mhm.
And then with the Kimology show, I had taken a break from the podcast to write the stage play and all that. And I was like, okay, let me do this show. And I asked some friends, like, would y'all watch it if I was on camera? They were like, of course, yeah, do it. And so I brought on artists because I needed a theme to the show. At first, I was just going to talk about different topics, but talking to the camera by myself, let alone when I was podcasting and it was just me, I just felt so weird.
Mhm.
It just felt lonely.
Mhm.
So I centered the show around showing support, and giving flowers to artists here that I think are just amazing.
Mhm.
And so I did that for a year straight. I said, okay, Kim, don't let this fall by the wayside. You better stay consistent. Do this for a year straight. And I promise you, like that year when I first started, I think I caught the tail end of trying to get voted for best podcast. And this was before I actually started doing the YouTube show. So I'm submitting nominations for my podcast that's actually on Spotify and all that. It didn't make it because I really wasn't utilizing it. But with this YouTube show, I said, okay, because I didn't make it, I'm going to do this for a year. Like that drove me. Like I'm very competitive sometimes. So I'm like, I'm going to get me an award next year. I wrote down my goals and I'm like, I'm going to win next year. I ain't gonna lie, I think I manifested it. I was manifesting a lot of cool stuff in 2021 and I won. And it was, first of all, they called my category at the very end of the show. So I'm sitting through the whole award show sweating and scared. But the cool thing is, like, everybody on my row, there was Sam Lockridge. He got best educator. My friend Langston Jones got best stylist, and then I won. So we basically won in order. So it was aligned so well, and it felt amazing. I was so proud of myself for being so consistent, because sometimes we do stuff and we do it as a trend, and sometimes we don't realize that it's really something that we desire until we show like consistency, and nobody's forcing us to do it. I mean, I told you before we started recording, like I was recording on my phone. So I'm having Effie, Kim Keys, who else? Mac Infinity on the show. And I'm like, hey, I record from my phone. So don't. And they're like, no, it's fine. They were totally fine with it, which was like, this is kind of ghetto, but okay. And so it was a very proud moment. And with that, I feel like I could do anything. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Anyway, congratulations on that.
Thank
Because
you.
from in Kansas City, that's a big thing.
Is it?
Yeah, that's our Grammys.
I'll take that. All right.
Yeah. People are fly. People are just, man. I've never been, but this year I want to go. I just want to go.
Yeah.
And just watch. People are just fly.
Yeah. It's expensive.
It's cool.
No, it ain't.
It's
no,
cool.
It's not. And then being nominated again last year, in 2 categories, and then I was asked to host the red carpet.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Yeah,
That was gonna be my next segue.
Okay, good. I'm sorry I didn't mean to skip ahead.
That was gonna be my next segue. You actually hosted the red carpet last year, and boy, I watched that thing. I died laughing.
Why, Charles?
Cause you were just laughing the whole time you had the mic. You were just dying of laughter.
Yeah.
Are you always just happy?
I try to be. No, I mean, I'm not. But around people, I try to be, Yeah. I just like to make people feel better, than when they came. I want them to walk away feeling like, okay, I can live another day or I can make it, I'll be okay. So, yeah. It was fun. That I didn't even care about winning last year cuz once you win, it's like, okay, I'm good. That's fine. So, I really wanted to focus my attention on the red carpet and Charles, people were pissed when we had to shut it down. There was a huge line.
Oh,
They were
come holler at you.
they
That's what
were
I'm saying.
mad. And it just I mean, I took it seriously because it's the red carpet for a show. It was just like the
Bro,
Grammys,
that's the
Oscars.
Grammys for people. Imagine people
They
at the Grammys and all of a sudden you're like, oh, Chris Brown, sorry.
I mean,
that is their moment. You know what I mean? That is a
yeah.
moment for people to come in, and they didn't put all that outfit together for
Okay.
nothing. You know what I mean? People buying a whole new suit together. People putting the outfit together months
Charles,
ahead.
That dress I wore, every dress I wore, it was like $800.
And you probably ain't gonna wear it again.
I'm not, and I have not.
Yeah,
And my feet were on fire.
That's the problem, though. That's the thing with what we do. It's wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you got to be fly. You can't be half stepping.
The other day I wore a jacket on the show for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
I wore it before on the show, and I wore it again,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like.
What'd you feel like?
I just felt like a bum.
No,
you know what I mean?
listen.
I just felt like, damn, why am I wearing this thing again? I was like, I'll wait.
It doesn't
But it just didn't. The
matter.
whole time I'm sitting here feeling, I'm like, man, I know they'll look at this. Oh, he wore this jacket before.
It's so. You know what? No, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless because I made an effort with my show, I try to wear like Black-owned businesses or, try to switch it up every time. So I get it. But there were times where I forgot to put on mascara and I didn't look my best or, I recorded 3 episodes in one day. So I was like, oh, should I change my hoodie to another one? Like, no, ain't nobody care about that. They really don't.
Yeah, but they knew if you look at the episode, right? That episode, it was shot in the same day. So you could give that a pass.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Yeah. But it's like watching one episode that's already out 7 months ago and you watch another episode and here comes the hoodie again. We'll be like, can we see that hoodie? People are going to pick it up. I'm telling you.
Some people may, but you can't let that.
The wife just told me today, are you going to buy an outfit every time you have an episode?
Yeah.
It is like at least a shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
The shirts,
I was gonna say
t-shirts.
at least a shirt.
No, the t-shirts, yeah, hell yeah. Don't worry, I go to Burlington, $7.99.
Okay, come on.
$7.99.
TJ Maxx.
I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Marshalls.
I'm serious. Yeah, I think if you just change your shirt, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But you can't,
Yeah. But I'm gonna play a game with you here, right?
What? Okay, yeah. I'm nervous.
I'm gonna call names, right?
Okay.
When I call a name, you tell me the first thing that came out of your mind, right? 1 word, 2 word type of thing, right?
Okay. Oh,
so the first person is gonna be the baddest person in Kansas City. Your Highness.
Oh my God. An entertainer.
An entertainer.
Yeah. Is that all you want me to say?
Yeah.
Because I can go on about her.
We can sit here and go the whole
day
about her. She know we love her, right?
She's a great entertainer. I love her showmanship. She's just amazing.
Yeah, that's that.
And her tone.
That's that foreign stuff.
You
know what's beautiful about her? You talk to her, right? And you're talking about America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she hits you with the American accent. But as soon as you hit Barbados,
I love it.
The accent switches.
I love it. Give us the accent. I love when it slips out. I love it.
The accent switches out to Barbados real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Joe Black.
Joe Black is multi-talented.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, he can sing, he can produce.
Quace Beasley.
Who?
Quace.
Quez, oh, loud. No, I'm just playing. I'm not. That's my brother. Quez, I would say the maestro.
Industrious. I want to interview him so bad.
I'm sure he would be more than happy to come on your show. You
I,
just gotta ask, Charles. Quit playing with
I
me.
asked. I did ask.
You did?
Ask. Yeah.
What'd he say?
He didn't say much yet. He's probably still thinking about it. I did ask.
What is there to think about? Just get on the show. If somebody asks me to be on this show, I'm coming.
Now he's
Depends. Now.
He's coming.
Okay. Yeah. Quez is he's maestro. He's the maestro. He's just gets people on their feet, has really great energy.
Carlton Rashad.
Kind-hearted. He's a really nice person. Some of these, sometimes artists can just be one way on stage, like you said earlier, like one way on Instagram, and then in real life you're like, well, who are you, ma'am, sir? But Carlton is very kind. He sent me a very sweet message the other day, so yeah.
I like the way you were loving on him on your show. God damn. That's Flowers 101. Oh boy. I was watching that. I was like, yes, that's how you make somebody feel special. That's how you do it. You tell them that, yo, this is dope. Like oh man, I like that. That is big. I was so happy. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
I even had to go check out his music. I was like, damn,
and it's great.
Bro.
I told you I don't allow people, I don't say allow. I don't like interviewing guests that I'm not a personal fan of. It comes off very fake on camera.
Yeah.
I have to have you in my playlist.
Effie.
Oh my God. Ugh. I can't think of a word. Effie. Oh, she's mellow.
Mellow.
Yeah. She's very chill. Like, I've never heard her yell. I'm sure she's heard me yell and be loud so many times, but she's very mellow, but in like a way where it's like, I want to get to know her. What does she do? She's really dope. I like her hair. I like her clothes. And her music. Oh my God. So.
Okay, so I want to take this segue here, right?
Okay.
And give big ups to someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to big up Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal at District KC, right?
Hi, Crystal.
I just want to say thank you to Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal is like a diamond that's in the rough, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That you have to kind of get stuff out of the way and get to it. And once you get to it, you figure out how precious. Crystal is amazing, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I had contact with her in trying to get someone on the platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has been very courteous, very sweet, very, very helpful.
Yeah.
I love Crystal. I don't get to talk to her much or even highlight her much, but that's somebody in Kansas City that, man, if we have just two more of her type, who would be dope, man. She is a true A&R. That's a star right there.
She's great. Yeah.
That's a star right there. The fact that she even mentioned your name in that post.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was just last week.
Yeah. And any other person could have mentioned your name, you might have be hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And people like that is the reason why I love what I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you from my own side to just give her that respect and give her that flowers and just let her know that I appreciate her a lot.
Yes, she's wonderful. I appreciate her too for showing love. And this is not the first time where she has mentioned me to a podcast show. So she's amazing.
I remember one time, and she told me, she said, Charles, you're really good at what you do.
Hmm.
And that stuck. Every
Yeah.
time I just keep remembering that in my head that two people do that a lot. Her and a lady named Lene Gray. I don't know if you know Lene.
I may know her face, maybe.
Lene does that a lot too. She just
Yeah.
reminds me all the time. I think you're really good at what you do. I think you should keep doing it, and she would pretty
Yeah.
yeah. That's dope. So enough of the crystal emotions. We're tough. We don't really catch emotions like that.
Oh, I catch them all the time.
You need to hit them with the bass like you did earlier. Hit them with the bass like you did earlier.
Okay.
So let's get into a little deeper, right?
Yes.
Let's get into deep stuff.
Okay.
If you have the ability to manipulate time, if you wake up tomorrow with some type of superpower
Mm-hmm.
that allows you to manipulate time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can reverse time,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to reverse time exactly to, right? Either to correct a situation, either to improve a situation, either to take a different trajectory of life.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be and why?
Can I give two answers?
Yeah,
Is that cool?
yeah.
I would go back to when I was 11. So you're asking me if I could reverse time, when would I go? Where would I go back
Where
to?
would I go back to, and what would you go back there to do?
Oh gosh.
You want me to give you like an example?
No, because I have two answers.
Yeah, you can give about 5.
Okay. I would definitely go back to just my childhood. Just because that's when my mom was here. And I mean, I would be a kid, so I don't know how I could spend any more time with my mom, because I mean, I spent a lot of time with her anyway. But
Let's say you have the ability to give a life and all of that. Like you have like some superpowers. You just have a superpower. You can reverse time and you can fix stuff. Like
yeah, I
you
would
can
want her
correct-
to. I would have it that she's here with me still.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
one.
I would go back to when I was in college. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to college. And so I would have definitely like just did it a whole nother way. I would have explored my resources. I would have really just gone hard in regards to like media and journalism and things like that. Like I would have really set a plan for myself. So I can't think of another time.
Those two are good enough.
Okay.
Those two are good enough. And so
I would. I don't know. This is weird. This is a crazy question, Charles. I don't appreciate this. I would like want to meet my parents. Like it's like I would want to make it so I could stay with them and I wouldn't have been adopted. But then again, if I do that, then I wouldn't have met.
You wouldn't have this.
Yeah.
Life.
It's like, I don't know if things would have played out the same way. So.
It's a bunch of what ifs.
I know.
But have you at least met your parents before?
No. I actually would like to. Yeah. I'm about to start that journey soon. But I'm in therapy just because I feel like I need therapy. I've been in therapy for like a year. I need some preparation mentally before or during the process of that, because I don't know how I'm gonna react.
That's classy.
Yeah.
That shows how much class you have. Cause
thank you.
I asked somebody that on the show, and they started listing how many boyfriends they would have avoided. How many?
That too, Charles. Huh? No, they're right. They're right. I would have. Ooh, Charles. Ooh, I would have cussed some people out. I would have been like, "Oh, you're not for me. Bye." I wouldn't have wasted time. Ooh, yeah. I would have probably moved away. I would have, yeah.
Yeah, this person just went off. I had to when I was editing the interview. I had to take that. She was calling names.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Name them.
name and throwing out words. Oh my God, she
Yeah.
went in. I was like,
I need to see that. Is that on YouTube?
Nah,
Dang, Charles.
I took that out.
No, that's what we need to see.
Nah, I took that out. I took that out.
You know what?
That it was
Just send me the
too-
footage. Let me just let me watch it.
Took that out.
Yeah.
I took that out. So Kim, people like you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I admire people like you who are very industrious, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have Kim, the host of Kimology.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kim, the musician.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kim, the writer.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kim, the beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
And we have Kim, the human.
Yes.
And Kim, this, Kim, and more and more and more,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to do all of these things? How are you able to juggle all of these things? And then you were successful at some of these things, really successful at some of these things. Yeah.
I don't have any money though.
Yeah, but success does not quantify. Money does not quantify success.
It needs to though right now because I got bills. So. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, I agree. But you're asking me how do I juggle?
How do you juggle all of these?
Oh, I don't know. I just do it. I am an overthinker when it comes to my brand because I always want to put out my best.
Mhm.
Even if it's just a silly video, like I'm like, oh, it has to be the right lighting, it has to be this, it has to be that.
Mhm.
So I've always been very particular, but I don't know. Like I'm learning to get away from overthinking, and I'm learning to just do. I mean, with Kimology, there is some planning, but with other things, I don't know. I don't know how to answer I can't answer that. I don't know how.
You
Jesus.
just do it.
I just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. How much preparation goes into your show? I want to highlight your show here, right? Because it's a platform that is given, like you said earlier, is giving artists an opportunity to come in and share what they have going on.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for people to come in and kind of share another side of them that usually people don't see, right?
Yeah.
So how much preparation goes into the day-to-day shooting of the show?
Luckily I haven't had a lot of issues with scheduling. People are pretty quick when it comes to responding to me. So I've had small issues here and there, but nothing major. I initially, when I started, I would basically just call someone or reach out to them via Facebook and just ask, hey, would you like to be on my show? I would love to have you. And set up a time, and they'd come over and I set up my phone, and that was it. And I would edit it and I would post it the next week. Now I have a team. Shout outs to Darren. He has done the last 3 episodes with Rob Lowe, the Star, Carlton Rashad, and Quez. It's a little bit harder when there's a camera guy, and that's frustrating because there's so many moving parts and there's so many people to deal with. I had the band, had to make sure I had piano player, drummer, because that's all I had. I had a drummer and a piano player, a pianist, and then the artist. And yeah, it was it's I yeah. I when I was just doing it by myself, it was a lot easier. Now the quality is great, but
The politics,
it
the arrangement,
just
the all of that stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about, right? That's
yeah.
why I roll. When I have to do a podcast, I'm bringing my cameras, all my equipment. I come an hour early, set it up before my guest comes on, and have everything ready, lighting
Yeah,
stuff. When they come, I just have to do the bare minimum, make sure the right lighting is okay with their tone, the skin tones, everything is fine,
exactly.
and keep it moving. But sometimes when you have to work with other people and have to rely on them to do things, people showing up a little later than they usual. You know what I mean? You people, yeah, yeah.
And I'll just be honest, with those episodes that I just posted, um, my videographer Darren had an apprentice with him, and some of the, I guess it wasn't on the same settings as all cameras. Like the cameras weren't on the same setting. So if you notice, my side is a bit brighter, whereas the guest side is warmer, which is what I wanted. I wanted a warmer look because we're Black people, we're on
Mhm.
camera. And not only that, so I set up this area in one of my guest bedrooms. And so the cameras are all set up just like it is right now, 3 cameras. And they went to the front room and we were mic'd up and all that. But the apprentice did not turn off something to where the sound would pick up.
Oh man.
So Darren had sent me the footage of Bravo the Star, and I could literally hear people laughing in the front room, and I was livid. I know it's difficult for you. Sometimes it's challenging just to set up everything and do everything by yourself, but I would rather do that and something goes wrong and it's on me versus somebody working with me, and by the time they give me the footage, like there's laughter in the footage because it's just me and the guest. There's no other people. So this was my second time having a videographer record. But and he apologized because, this was an apprentice, somebody he was
Yeah,
bringing
yeah,
on.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
I knew it wasn't anything malicious. But when I tell you,
Even with me, right? The other day, I had a guest come in,
mm-hmm,
and I set up to use couches. I have the other boom
mm-hmm,
mics.
mm-hmm.
I set one of the mic up. I go to set the other mic up,
Mm-hmm.
and the mic broke. The stand just went back.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And it's literally 15 minutes before the guest shows up. That's why I carried these.
Yeah.
So now I had to change the whole setup and
Yep.
use this table.
Yep. Yep.
But when you work with these things, something always happens. Something always tends
Yeah.
to go wrong. But if you have, that's why people look at my videos and think that I went black and white.
I liked it.
Out of style. Nah, that's not what happened. When I first started, I had 3 different cameras
Mm-hmm.
with 3 different settings, 3 different. They were all Canons, but they were very different cameras.
Yeah.
So for them to have the same setting, I couldn't have the same setting.
Yeah.
So the one footage will be a little more. The color grading would be different.
Yeah. Oh.
If you look at my early videos, you will see that.
Okay. Okay.
So in order to mitigate that, I interviewed Lene, who is a mixed person,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave her skin a really, really yellow. Like she was, when I say yellow,
Yeah.
she was yellow.
Yeah.
So in production, I tried everything I could. I
Yeah.
started adding white balance. Started reducing saturation. I did everything I could. Do whatever color grading I do. Still,
Yeah.
every time I successfully reduced her yellow,
Mm-hmm.
I get really dark.
Mm-hmm.
So to cut all of that
Black
stuff,
and white.
I just accidentally pressed the saturation all the way down and it went black and white. and it just looked so beautiful. I was like,
I was gonna
oh,
say that should be your thing. I thought that was your thing.
and
I really like it.
I was just like, oh, this.
No, for real, because this is.
And it just became a thing until recently. I posted one interview that is colored
Okay,
because
I saw
I
that.
love the pink and the flowers that were in the background.
Yeah,
And then I posted that one colored
yeah.
but the thing on that, the message on that interview was, the interview was really it was really coming from, the information was coming from a really dark place.
Yeah.
I that's the most struggle I ever had
Yeah.
editing an interview, simply because when I'm editing these interviews, I have headphones on. I'm a human being,
Yeah.
These things are replaying in my mind the whole, however hours I sit there cutting videos and editing. So it gets dark, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just like, this is so dark. Let me leave this in
Bring
color.
some brightness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and bring some brightness in it. But sometimes I just want to leave it out to leave the character. But because of that, people have attached my thing to black and white.
I love it. When I saw that, I was like, this is a serious podcast. I don't know. It just brought something very intimate, and I liked it. I said, I don't see nobody else doing a podcast in black and white. So that caught my attention. So I don't know, Charles.
It's beautiful. But sooner or later you'll get there. You'll get a team, and the team will do, because your thing is it's not just like a run and shoot, like I told you.
Yeah.
You need somebody with a piano here. You need a vocalist here. You need somebody production. You need somebody setting up these things, and it's almost like a tiny desk brought into.
That's what I wanted.
It's almost like bringing a tiny desk into a Jennifer Hudson show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
I was going for tiny desk for the performances. That's crazy that you said that. So yes.
Yeah. So it's more. We have more pieces.
Yeah.
More moving pieces, but it's I like it.
Thank you.
I like when I was watching it, and then halfway through, and then I saw another video of somebody. You know how when you're watching YouTube and you minimize and then you scrolling, and I seen another video.
Yeah.
Of somebody singing. I just clicked on the thing. I forgot about the thing.
Yeah.
And I went on and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
This is a whole thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you see that, like 3 years from now? Where do you see that?
Oh gosh. I would love to have my own show. Like, as far as like on TV or like online that people just watch, like it reaches the masses. Like I want to really graduate to interviewing people that I love, like Anita Baker, like New Edition, Issa Rae, Kev on Stage. Like that's what I really want. I really want to have my own show and ultimately have my own network.
That's dope. That's beautiful. And I have one last request before we close. Can I come on the show? I can't do music though. But can I please come on the show? Please.
Yes.
I would love to. I have had people reach out to me and want me on their platforms. And
I told you, people invite themselves on my show a lot.
And I act like the way people ignore me in their DMs, that's just karma.
It's that karma, Charles.
That's how
Shame, Charles. That explains it.
Nah. Some of these people, first of all, you cannot be doing a video podcast on some type of techno Samsung phone that, you know what I mean? The thing looks blurry and you know what I mean? Some Chinese Android.
Oh, not an Android.
Yeah, the audio is quick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, looks like public access.
Yeah, you
TV.
want me to come in there and
I'm not coming in there.
I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
And that's okay. But yes, I would love to have you on my show. Charles,
We made it.
Oh my gosh.
Mama, we made it. You know
Yes.
what, Kim?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. I do. I really do.
Thank
People
you.
like you who take some time out of your time, and this is what I call the teacherless classroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
We come here and sit down and discuss things that some of the information that you shared today, right?
Mm-hmm.
No classroom has prepared you for that. You did not go to no teacher to prepare you for none of these life experiences that you face.
Yeah.
No teacher told you down and said, hey, let me teach you how to write a film. Let me teach you how to write this thing together. You are not the bullshit kid that graduated from UCLA with a film degree, with a writing degree or something.
Yeah.
You learn this as you grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you tapped into a creative side of you that allowed you to put in content that people relate to the point that we're, hey, bring this back.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people like you, with all of that, wanting to come and sit down with me and just have a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me just, it validates what I am doing, right? Because I started this to create a platform where international students can actually understand what it is to be in America. But some of this stuff I'm going to leave out to when you bring me to your show,
Okay.
so I can actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this took its own life. It became a safe space for people.
Yeah.
I've had to cry with people here.
Yeah.
I've had to leave, stop interviews and cry myself. And people, baby, what's her name? Envy and Pain,
Sounds.
the poet.
Poet. Yes. Uh-huh.
She just made me. I interviewed her about 2 weeks ago.
I need to watch that one. Yeah.
I just cried the whole, like halfway through the interview. I just
Yeah.
was sitting there. I was same as hell. I was just sobbing, crying. And she
Yeah.
goes, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I had to get up and wipe my tears. You know what I mean? And come back,
Yeah.
try to play like I was, sneezing. But you know what I mean? Like I come here and go through these emotions with people, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful. Like I'm grateful. People
Yeah.
like Joe Black
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
saying, "Hey, come to the studio." And I did an interview in the studio.
Yeah.
And I sat in my car driving back, and I just cried.
Yeah.
Tahira, I cried the whole. I told her I was gonna cry, and she thought I was playing. Like I'm a
I'm a
fan,
crier too. It's okay.
and I just cried the whole ride home. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a kid that grew up in Gambia, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In Africa, dude.
Yeah.
Gambia. I grew up poor. My parents were teachers. The teachers are the least paid people in Africa.
And that is a problem.
And I grew up in that,
Yeah.
in a place where it's prostitution, drugs. It's like my neighborhood is lit. My neighborhood is I grew up in the ghetto.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were 5 and 6 and 7, and you wake up in the morning, you see condoms, used condoms, just a plethora, just everywhere from the prostitutes. They don't even discard those things safely. I grew up from that.
Yeah.
To come in here in America and starting a show and people actually listen to it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And people actually come in and say, "Hey, let me sit down and talk to you."
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So for you to come here and just sit down and talk and have this with me, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
I mean,
You brought beauty to the classroom. You know what I'm saying?
thank you. I'm telling you, I know you talk about me right now, but when I tell you watching your interviews, they were very intimate. It's very different from any other podcasts I've ever seen. Like seriously. And I know, you're having issues with the colors, but it ended up working for you.
Yeah.
And you do whatever you want. It's your show, but that added on top of the guests that you have, it being in black and white added an element because you just have a way, aside from the color and all that, you just have a way of talking to people and they're opening up. And I just feel like you really have something special here. and I want you to keep going. I want you to keep blooming because like it's really something special. I really need you to understand that. Like I'm not just saying that because I'm here. I am dead serious. It's something special, and you need to keep going.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that means a lot. That means a lot, man. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah,
that means a lot. I'm not.
Never let fear stop you. They'll sell you hope for the price of action. It's for you not to auction your dream at a 9-to-5 gathering. Plan the ropes to be free from self-bondage. Have to fend for yourself. Do not feast with the vultures. That's how you preserve culture. That's how legacy is built. Each one teach one. Each one help one. Each one feed one. Each one praise one. There's no generational wealth without generational wisdom. No man is free unless the whole family is free. Family tax is a real thing. My auntie need a Benz. My cousin needs some Jordan 3s. I'll be damned if I let another man tell me my limits. Catch up, naysayer. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning.